드디어
The journey of fishermen on the open sea is always fraught with danger, but is also filled with excitement before casting their nets. Fishermen pay close attention to signs such as seabirds or the movement of smaller fish schools, often hunted by tuna. They use large purse-seine nets designed to encircle the entire school of fish. These nets can span hundreds of feet in length and reach heights of around 170 feet. Once the net is fully developed, the opening is drawn tight, forming a massive bag that traps the tuna inside. This process can take several hours. Finally, the fishermen use the tuna are flash frozen at temperatures of minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit or lower to ensure optimal quality. Red snapper, which often dwell near the seabed, require fishing crews to target areas with strong currents and abundant food sources. During the net hauling process, fishermen monitor the tension heat, which is critical for fresh market sales or export. Hauling in a full catch can take considerable time and physical effort. Modern cranes and winch systems are employed to lift the nets aboard. To ensure freshness, red snapper are immediately stored in cold storage at temperatures ranging from 32 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Currently, the pollock fishing season is in full swing in the Western Bering Sea in the first half of 2024. Pollock are typically caught at 3 to 3.5 nautical miles offshore at depths of 600 to 900 feet. Fishermen lower their nets into deeper water layers as pollock schools migrate closer to the seabed. They maneuver the nets from both sides of the vessel to encircle the schools with precision and speed. Best quality of the fish meat. Catching fish of smaller sizes presents unique challenges. These fish are difficult to clean and must be preserved quickly. If exposed to sunlight on the ship's deck for too long, they will lose their freshness. In such cases, freezing is the most effective method of preservation. Additionally, quickly and precisely retrieving the nets is critical. Small fish are delicate and can strict environmental protection regulations, minimizing bycatch of other species. Small fish are typically transferred directly to cold storage without additional processing. Some advanced fishing vessels are equipped with nitrogen or CO2 preservation systems, helping to maintain the fish's freshness for an extended period. The global annual mackerel catch amounts to around 8 billion pounds, with major fishing regions including the North Atlantic and Northern Pacific. When mackerel begin migrating along the deep water edges of Western Scotland, large fishing vessels head out to sea. Each trip can last up to a month in 2023. Modern fishing vessels and stringent harvesting practices are key factors driving the industry's growth. Fishermen have turned tuna fishing into a survival game on the open seas. They locate schools of tuna and set massive traps. The tuna unaware of the encircling nets onto the fishing vessels using cranes and conveyor systems. To maintain quality, they are immediately stored in cold chambers, preserving their freshness. Fishermen often venture far offshore for weeks at a time to track schools of tuna. These fish are fast swimmers and can travel long distances, making net deployment and retrieval particularly challenging. Furthermore, fishermen must work in harsh conditions, ensuring the tuna are kept at ultra-low temperatures to maintain quality. Significantly more labour. Anchovies are caught using a method called long bag nets. This technique involves a trap with long poles and netting placed on the shallow seabed. Fishermen wait for the anchovies, which tend to move together near the water's surface, especially during the spring and summer migrations along the coast. When the tide rises, the anchovies become trapped in an anchovy fishing method commonly placed along the southern coast of South Korea. South Korea's mackerel season lasts from October to March. During this time, as water temperatures rise, mackerel migrate to the western seas, causing their numbers to peak. In 2023, South Korea harvested approximately 330 million pounds of mackerel. Once the catch is hauled aboard using cranes, the mackerel are transferred onto conveyor belts. Fishermen often use large fishing vessels equipped with GPS systems to locate schools of mackerel before deploying nets. Additionally, each vessel carries ice to preserve the fish's freshness until it reaches shore. Next, let's look at the vessels used to catch halibut, a species harvested commercially and consumed worldwide. With their flat bodies, halibut are relatively easy to catch, as they tend to stay close to the seabed and are slower to escape than other species, as the vessel moves marine species. To address this, certain regions impose restrictions on trawling equipment, such as requiring specific mesh sizes to minimize bycatch. Taiwan benefits from its strategic location along the migratory routes of various tuna species, making it an ideal hub for the development of oceanic tuna fishing. Dozens of bluefin tuna emerge at the surface, thrashing violently until exhausted. Fishermen take advantage of this moment, tying the fish by their tails and hauling them aboard. This encircling method of fishing is considered one of the oldest forms of industrial fishing in the world. This approach is tailored to meet the stringent demands of major markets, such as Japan, the United States, and Europe. Did you know that during Alaska's salmon season, over 150 million salmon are harvested, with a total weight exceeding 742 million pounds. This generates an average profit of 230 million, with peak years reaching nearly $800 million. The salmon industry in Alaska is the most vital fishing sector. Harvesting and processing large quantities of salmon is tough work, but it's worth the effort. Every year, thousands of fishermen eagerly await summer to earn their livelihoods by fishing and processing, as fish are caught not only in autumn but also throughout the winter. Fishermen here brave icy ocean winds as they venture offshore. Battling the cold on their swaying boats, they haul in the fish in the nets. Sometimes they lift and lower the nets dozens of times a day, defying the harsh winter winds. Since cutlass fish must be salted quickly to ensure freshness, this task requires a team of workers to act simultaneously. Marlin can be caught using various fishing techniques depending on the location. In Indonesia, fishermen often use nets. Once a suitable spot is identified, the nets are deployed and left submerged to retrieve the nets to inspect the catch. With luck, they might encounter massive marlin. Due to the weight of these fish, 4 to 5 fishermen often work together to pull them in. The team coordinates carefully to subdue the marlin and remove it from the net. For safety, they may cut off its sharp bill, an intimidating weapon that could injure them. Afterwards, they rinse the fish and remove debris in preparation for preservation.